Hello, I'm in the kitchen and sharing with y'all what is for dinner over here. Just stirring. Turn that off. All right, let me share this to my other page while I go get something out of the refrigerator. Hopefully this is the last thing. Nope, one more thing. Rachel Ray does it, right? So can I. She's constantly running to her refrigerator. But the camera follows her because she's big time. Okay. Let's get this shared. I'm making dinner. I started my dinner earlier. Hi Sharon, how are you? My camera's far back because I want to make sure you guys can see the stove. Okay, so I'm going to try to cook out here on this page a little bit more. I can't make any big promises because I do most of my cooking in the rebirth community. Give them the A1, well, I seek to give them the A1 treatment. This page is not loading. Oh, here we go. All right. Okay, good. Here we go. So what I'm making it, guys, is tacos. I'm making some stuff that does not go together. Let me tell you that right now. All right, I'm making some stuff that does not go together. I made some jackfruit earlier today, and I showed the group what I did. And now today, later, I'm just going to finish it up. I'm actually supposed to be on a webinar right now, so the fridge is still open. Thank you. You know what though? It's fancy. It'll start beeping in a while and say, beep, beep, I'm open, which can be really frustrating when you think you pushed it closed and then it wasn't closed. All right, so here we go. So I'm going to show you this. This is going to be easy, faster because most of it's already done, okay? But yesterday I posted a picture. I think I put it on this page, but if not, I need to share it over here, where I did a lettuce bowl, and it was so delicious that I knew I wanted the same thing. But I also knew that I had some jackfruit that I needed to experiment with. Jackfruit is a fruit. When you buy it unripe, it is not sweet at all like a fruit, but it gives a meat-type texture, and I'm going to show you what it looks like in just a minute. So what I have is jackfruit right here, then I have quinoa right here, and then over here, hold on, let me dump my mushrooms out right here. Those were roasted earlier too, and I'll tell you guys how I did that. Over here I have some whole acorn squash that I just pulled out of the oven. Again, they just needed to be cooked. So some of us are hung up on what does stuff go together. I used to be just like that. I needed everything to go together, or else I felt like, I couldn't eat it, right? The plate had to make all this sense to me. But my waistline said otherwise, and frankly, your wallet will say otherwise too. Sometimes you just need to eat what's in your refrigerator. Amen. So that's what this is. I'm just cooking up what I have. And I hope this inspires you to do the same. One of the things I try to focus on with my clients, while I've given them a recipe guide with meals and stuff in it, I want to empower them to go in their kitchen and just make something happen. And so that's what I'm doing today. I had that can of jackfruit. It's been there forever. I decided, you know what? I'm going to make tacos. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is finish up my dough for the tacos. This is not hard. That's another reason why I decided to do this tonight, because the enemy wants us to think easy things are hard, so then we won't do it. If he can make you think that it's challenging, it's too much work, you're not going to do it. This is what corn tortillas are made out of. This is not a Sabi ingredient, okay? Corn is a hybrid, but this is non-GMO. So I promise you, I've had this maybe once this year, maybe twice. This has been in my freezer, and this is the brand that I have here, because I know that Bob's Red Mill does not do GMO products. All right, so I'm going to set this to the side. This is just, you can just take this flour and literally put a spoonful of salt in it and some water, and you're done. And that's it. And it forms a ball. And then you just roll it out. I didn't add any salt to that. You just roll it out into like taco shapes and cook it on each side, and then put your filling on top. Very easy, and it's much cheaper than buying those packages, and people put all kind of stuff in there. There's a recipe on the back, tells you how to do it. That's it. I should have added a little bit of salt there. All right, so that's ready to go. I'll show you my tortilla press. You don't need that. I just like gadgets, so that's why I have it, okay? Then I'm going to show you the jackfruit next. This I prepared earlier today because it said it was better if it could sit and marinate, okay? So I've let it sit. It's been soaking in the seasonings since earlier today. All right, and I'm just, here we go, I'm gonna use this spoon instead. I'll show you guys what this looks like. This is one of those products that can seem really weird and intimidating, but you have to remind yourself, it's not weird or intimidating, you just don't know what it is yet, okay? It's flaky. It flakes up just like, it kind of looks like chicken in this pot, to be honest with you, but it's not seasoned like chicken. It's seasoned like fish would be. It has salt in it. It has onion powder in it. Has, I think, a pinch of cayenne. And then it has sea vegetable seasonings like kelp, bladderwrack, and dulse. Bladderwrack, all sea vegetables are excellent for you. They really help you if you have an underactive thyroid. If your thyroid is overactive, you should avoid. But if your thyroid is underactive, they help to boost metabolism naturally. So this is already done. I'm going to taste it. Let me give it a quick taste. I had to add a pinch more of salt earlier. The thing with jackfruit, guys, is it doesn't have a flavor of its own. You have to put the flavor in it. It doesn't taste like anything. That's yummy. Pinch more salt. Oh, I also added a little bit of lime juice. Now, I don't know if my kids will like this because they're funny sometimes. I've never made this for them before, but that's why I'm making a couple different things. The other reason why I made a couple different things like this is so that hopefully you don't have to cook the next day because you made different options. You got the quinoa that's already made that you could stir fry with some veggies. Then you have this. You could do tacos with. Frankly, this could be added directly on top of a salad. This would make a great sandwich. One of my clients, she uses this to make a tuna salad. Mixes vegan mayonnaise and everything in it and makes herself a tuna salad. So I get lots of ideas and inspiration from them. All right, so where are we going next? I'm going to make my tacos next. So those will be ready to go. Oh, I even have a little fancy container, you guys, to put them in. I thought I was going to be doing more of this, and now I don't. Ta-da! The tortilla holder that they give you in Mexican restaurant. What is what? This is jackfruit in the pot. Okay, I'm just gonna put some paper towel. Maybe that's supposed to be getting this ready to go. I'm gonna get my skillet heated up for the taco shells. Like I said, this is a corn tortilla using a non-GMO corn flour called masa, so it's not 100% Sabi approved. What I found though is you can do the hybrid vegetables and stuff here and there. You know, it's not gonna cause you harm. You shouldn't do it in excess. You do want to stick as close as you can to indigenous fruits and vegetables, but sometimes it may not be possible. And the other reason why I became more flexible on that is because I found that people were cheating on far worse stuff. So it was like, oh, I can't have broccoli. Well, I guess I'm gonna just get these fries. I mean, no. So there's levels, right? So just go less than if it's such a big concern. So we will make our, scooping this up, we'll make our taco shells next since our fillings and stuff are all ready. And then I'll build the quinoa bowl in front of you guys. All right, I got this press on Amazon. You don't need this. Again, I'm a gadget person. I like gadgets. I thought I was going to use this a lot more than I have, and then sometimes I forget it's even in there. So this is just parchment paper you can put on here. You could also use plastic wrap. Parchment paper can be expensive sometimes. So to take the dough right here, which is just corn flour, you just do corn flour and water. Depending on how strict you are, you can add a little bit of vegetable oil. So I'm just pulling off like a ball size amount. Put it on here. These would freeze well too, y'all. All right, put it on here. Top it with this. We're not making a waffle here. All it's doing is flattening it out. And then you just mash down. Sometimes we just need to see things so we know it's not hard, okay? All right, oh, I put this a little too close to my edge here. There we go, whoops. And here's the good news about this, y'all. You don't like the way it looks? Start over. This is gluten-free. There's no gluten in here, so the dough won't be messed up by you starting over, but you want to make sure you do put it in the center. All right, so I'm going to do it again because I want it to be perfectly round. I wouldn't suggest you bother with that. Just get it done. All right, so here we go one more time. Move it up to the center. Okay, push it here and go. All right, there we go. Much better, much better. All right, so I lost a little bit, but that's okay. Put that right back in with the other dough, okay? Now you want to spray your skillet just so that it comes up much easier. All right, just make it cook better. And the best way to get this on there, y'all, is to peel it like this and then drop it on. That's it. Please somebody tell me that was hard. While that's cooking. So I was on this thread today and they were talking, different people were complaining about cooking, right? Talking about how they don't like it, they hate it, and this and that. And this is what I want to say to y'all. I don't love cooking either. People don't believe me because they see me post recipes all the time. I do this because my body is not a trash can. And I don't want to eat crap food all the time. And I don't want my kids to grow up with bad eating habits. That like compels me so strong. And if you are a mom out there, I challenge you. I don't want to tell anybody what to do. I'm not trying to guilt trip you and I don't want to make anybody feel bad. But when you take the short routes, okay, because you don't feel like doing something that you're able-bodied to do, you do your children a great disservice. They deserve better, and you don't want them to end up with health problems later that could have been prevented. Or now you're telling them later to get, to eat right when you've trained them to eat wrong. I know what I'm talking about. I did it with my eldest, and, praise God, she's making changes now, but she wouldn't even have the weight problem and the eating issues that she had if I'd been like this years ago. So I don't want this for my next two kids. Do they love every single thing I make? No. But they, I'm planting seeds and they'll have much more to go back to. So y'all tell me what your challenges are. What questions can I answer for you while I put this together and show you guys what an easy meal can look like. Okay? This is almost done. This is a 30-minute meal, I promise you. This right here, I could have done this inside of the same 30 minutes if I wasn't on this video and talking and stuff, because jackfruit itself is already cooked. It doesn't, it's a fruit. It doesn't really need to be cooked. Let me show it to you guys again. I see a couple more people join. Okay, this is hot. And I want you to see what it looks like. again, there's no carbs or anything like that because it's a fruit. Okay, it flakes nicely, and a lot of vegan restaurants are hip to it now because they serve it in a barbecue style sauce, which is another way you can do it. All right, this is pretty much done. But back to what I was saying, y'all. I just want you to care a little bit more about the issues you might be causing your children. And here's a way to care, okay? If that doesn't motivate you, if you're not motivated by thinking about the health problems your kids could have from eating a diet that's heavy in processed foods, there's not a lot of real food on the table, you're just throwing something together because it's not a priority for you or because you dislike it, I want you to think about how you would feel, if they became sick. And now all of a sudden you're trying to backtrack. As a matter of fact, some of you guys have children with minor illnesses that they wouldn't have if they ate right. Hey Brenda, attention problems that they wouldn't have if they ate right. A lot of these things can be solved through diet. So again, not trying to lecture. So what can you do? All right, the first thing you need to do is talk to yourself differently. I know you don't feel like cooking. I know you don't want to do it. But guess what, boo? Sometimes you got to do it. So I literally sometimes have to give myself a pep talk. Like, all right, Cara, get in here. And so the reason why you'll see me make my plate look pretty and some of that stuff is really because I am trying to get rid of my own boredom and desire not to do it. It doesn't, if I put together some crap meal, not only did I feed my kids crap, and I feel guilty about that. Some of us may be so asleep that we don't even feel guilt about it, but not only do I feel guilt about the crap meal, it didn't taste as good, I didn't really enjoy it, and now my kids have taken in all kind of unnecessary sugar, fat, chemicals, etc., etc. Amy, what am I making? I'm making vegan fish tacos, all right, without all of the accoutrements, because I don't have it. I do have a little vegan mayonnaise. I could have made a white sauce to go with that, but I experimented on this other tahini sauce. I have no idea how it's going to taste, y'all, so you get to watch me taste it live here in a second. So this is just a tortilla press. This is, corn is not, of course, not on Dr. Sebi's Alkaline Guide. I have to keep repeating that because a lot of people follow me for that reason. But I do have used it every now and then, and this is from Bob's Red Mill, which is non-GMO. So I've at least avoided that. For whatever reason, I just keep making these too close to the edge. All right, and that's it. So all you do is mix it with water and flatten it. Now you could flatten this with a glass, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to be extra like me. This is just, again, these are things that keep my interest, keep me interested in doing what I have accepted I have to do. And I'm trying to tell you guys, I know how you feel, because the older I get, the more the hatred grows. And this is my business now. That's what's really funny. All right, but you got to do what you got to do, and that's what it boils down to. So I'll show you the jackfruit in a minute. Hey, Jeanette. I'll show you guys the jackfruit in a minute. Once I'm finished with these, I'm going to make one more, I think. And then we'll assemble it. I'm going to get a plate, a small plate for the jackfruit, and another bowl to do another quinoa bowl like the one I did last night, because I want people to see that it's not hard. Okay? Mash this one down. Jeanette, this recipe is already in the Rebirth Guide. You just may need to adjust some of the seasonings to your taste. Okay? All right. Yeah, so we don't do a lot with jackfruit, but I'll be working with it more and more because it beats a lot of the other things. And then sometimes I get lazy just like you guys, or I get not in the mood, whatever word we're using, and I don't feel like necessarily cooking anything. So I'll end up, eating some veggie meat I shouldn't have or something like that. So I have to motivate myself too to get back on track. And one of the ways I do that is by trying something different. Okay, I'm just flattening this one on the other side, and then this one is ready. sometimes these will break apart. I have not mastered making these tacos. Tell me what you guys are having for dinner tonight. Don't be ashamed. Don't be scared. I need some communication here. I feel like y'all are watching OWN Network or something. Ha ha. Okay. There. All right. Now that one's not perfect at all. So clearly Coach has work to do. But you know what? To be honest with you, it doesn't bother me when my stuff is not perfect because you guys may not make perfect things. And I don't want to make things that look so fancy that the common person feels like they can't relate. And it's just too much for them. Did you use canned? This is canned. I've never used the frozen before, but I am going to buy the vacuum packed jackfruit sold by, what's the name of that company? Wait a minute, I have one more in here I can make. The Jackfruit company, yeah. The vacuum packed jackfruit sold by the Jackfruit company. They have one that comes in a nice big bag, therefore it's not a canned product. You know, you feel a little bit better about that. So I'll be investing in that so that I can use it to do some experimentation. All right, I got one more taco here to make. One more shell. I might as well make this last one, right? Because you know I'm already tired of being in here. Okay. What's for dinner? Nobody's telling me what's for dinner. Look, I asked that question and 3 people dropped off. They don't want to tell me what they're eating for dinner, y'all. That's what I think. There and there. All right, so here's the last one. Okay. Last one. Scoot that over so I can get this one on here. And then I'm going to go get my plate and bowl so I can start assembling. This one's a little bit smaller. Okay, so what we do is when we have to do something we know we need to do, but we don't feel like doing it, we got to find a reason to get motivated. We got to find a why. We can't just lament over the fact that we don't want to do it. That doesn't solve anything. Ha ha, Prudy Prue, I knew you were on there. Bread and avocado, it's up to me. Yeah, hey, that works. I'm down with that. I'm down with that. So tomorrow I could take this same jackfruit and mix it up in some other kind of way. Get creative with it. All right, while this is going, let me go get my plate and bowl. Rinse my hands off. Nicole, what's for dinner, Nicole? Tell the truth. Okay. I'm going to get a plate and bowl. Right here, I'm going to plate this up. Zion, are you ready to eat?
Yes and no.
You said yes and no?
Yes, I said yes.
Okay, so that's almost done. And then I have some veggies to saute that I'm going to lay. There we go. I'm just going to add some veg to this side. Give it a quick saute. Because this is for my quinoa bowl. My quinoa is already cooked right there in the pot. I need a little bit of oil on here. Okay, so there's that. Nicole's having salad. Brenda had a salad. Okay, what was in your salad? Sounds good, but what was in it? What kind of salad dressing did you use? Are you making your own dressing yet? By the way, you can go to CaraAshburn.com now and download a free 3-day challenge that has recipes in it. Some of you, if you've already had a consult with me, you may already have this. Take your fingers out of your mouth when you speak to me. You can go to CaraAshburn.com and download a song in your room.
Yeah.
Aren't you ready to eat?
Yeah, but can I wait for it?
Yeah, you can wait. Go take your shower.
Yeah. Can
Okay.
I turn the song on?
Yes, CaraAshburn.com, KaraAshburne. And on there, you can sign up to receive a free 3-day challenge. Now, I just set that link up. So if for some reason by technology it's not working, just let me know so I can get it fixed, okay? So this is just my veg to go on top of my quinoa bowl. I have some left over here from yesterday, but I'm making a little bit more just to be sure. Cucumbers, tomatoes, and ranch dressing. Okay, was that vegan ranch? Was that regular ranch? What's up, Zane?
I was wondering if you could.
Tacos. Right there. That goes, I just made it because it needed to be cooked. So you have options. Because you can also do a quinoa bowl with vegetables and stuff on top of it and avocado. All right, so I'm just mixing in my little extra zucchini here. Get this cooked up. But you go on there, you get the free challenge guide. The reason why I brought that up, Brenda, is because I believe that there's a salad dressing recipe in there. It's super, super easy. I just had a lady who was like in tears because she got the salad dressing recipe, or some salad dressing recipes, because she was trying, you know, she just really missed being able to enjoy a good salad guilt-free. And the other dressings that she tried were just not good. So I gave her one that's, you can make it from scratch all the way using a nut like cashew or Brazil nut, or you can, uh-oh, this is done. That one is overcooked. Or you can make it using vegan mayonnaise with a little lime juice. I put a half a cucumber in there peeled, get that water content up. You can also add fresh herbs after it's done. You can do a little piece of onion in there. It doesn't take much at all. And if you have one of these small bullets, like I have right here, then it's very, very easy. Put the stuff in there and then blend it up, and then I keep it in the fridge all week long. Because the thing is, I mean, you already know this, Brenda, so I'm not beating you up at all. I appreciate your honesty. Most people think it's hard, and they feel like they don't want to be, you know, they don't want to be bothered. It's one extra step. But when you put regular dairy ranch on top of your salad, you might as well have eaten a cheeseburger. It's doing nothing for you nutritionally at all because of the content of that dairy. Black people in particular, 75% of us are allergic to dairy. Our system just does not tolerate it well, and in our motherland, which is Africa, I know some people think they're from other places, but African cultures, they don't eat dairy. They don't eat dairy. They don't eat a lot of sugar either, like we do. So that's one of the reasons why they're healthy. They just don't eat the same food items that we do. So I would encourage you to look for ways to get that dairy out of your diet. All right. So this is homemade veggie meat that I made a couple days back that just needs to be used up. So I'm just giving it a quick chop to saute with this for the quinoa. Alright, so that's it. This is something, you know, I know the kids will like this if they don't like the taco. If they don't like the taco, that's fine. I'll eat it myself, and my husband is not picky at all. He just be so happy that I cook sometimes. He'll eat anything. Okay? Yeah, so Brenda, you know, if you need, go download that challenge guide, Brenda, CaraAshburn.com. And if it doesn't contain a good recipe, a good dressing recipe in there, just send me a message, and I'll send you one on inbox so that you have a good, I just want you to try it. All right, tell me what you think. I believe that dairy and sugar are far worse for you than animal protein. Far worse. And really, sometimes, for certain people, conventional wheat. All those things together are acidic in your system. When you eat that food, it leaves an acidic ash behind that is pretty much toxic to your body. But it manifests in different people in different ways. So one person might end up with autoimmune. Another person might end up with diabetes. It's the body's response to having food it does not want. Now, not every illness can be avoided, but there are so many things that happen because of how we treat our bodies. So we have to just be more judicious about it and, you know, love ourselves enough to make some changes. Okay? I don't know why I can't get this open now. Okay, here we go. Now, I don't make any guarantees that this is going to taste delicious, as my son would say. And it doesn't. I gotta add a little. This is tahini that I made, homemade, and then I put a little bit of avocado in it. I wanted a sauce, a really good sauce, but this is not it. I'm gonna add a little bit of sweetener to it to balance out that bitterness. See if I can get it to be any better. A little bit more lime juice. I really don't love tahini, to be honest with you, but you know, sesame seeds are tremendously high in calcium, so I just keep trying it. I keep trying different ways to see if I'm gonna like it prepared differently. All right, and a pinch more of salt. There. It could use more avocado, but I don't have any more, and I want to have some for the top of my other dish. All right, so I'm gonna let this go. And this right here is pretty much done. So now I'm going to add my other veg from yesterday. Okay, plus my mushrooms. And then I'm putting those fresh herbs on top of both dishes. Get some parsley, cilantro. Both of those herbs actually are very cheap at most grocery stores. And just start putting them on top of everything. If you're eating a salad, add fresh herbs. Fresh herbs will make a tremendous difference to the flavor. And they also, fresh herbs also are just so good for you. Parsley and cilantro help to cleanse your system out. Parsley helps with things like bad breath, usually caused by issues in your digestion. And the best way to get them in, you guys, is just to add them to everything. Okay? Really, this could go on the taco, though. That might be what happens for me. Okay, I'm turning this one off. Okay? All right, so I'm going to give this one more taste. Taste and see, but I feel like I'm not going to like it. And we can't force ourselves to eat everything. But the texture is perfect now. It's better, but still bitter. It's like I can't taste the salt at all. It's sweet but bitter. So I may have to put this to the side and keep working with it. And Google how to counterbalance something that is bitter. I feel like more lime might make it more bitter, but I want to try it. And there's a couple other things you can put in tahini sauce. I just need to confirm what that is. So I'm going to give this a taste. And let's go ahead and build our tacos, you guys. All right, I'm going to start actually first with my quinoa bowl. So spring mix on the bottom. I'm picky about my lettuce. If it even looks funny, I ain't using it. There we go. Next up is the quinoa. Now when I want it to look pretty, by the way, this quinoa is cooked with a little bit of vegetable broth. Or no, I'm sorry, I add a little bit of liquid aminos to the mix. What you want to do is, this one doesn't look good. What you want to do is, don't put as much water as you would put in there if you were making rice. That's what makes your quinoa mushy. So for example, if you were doing 1 cup of quinoa, you would want 1 3/4 cup of water. And then cover it and let it cook down for maybe 20 minutes. Check it at 15 minutes and see how your water levels are. And then once it's done, guys, leave the lid on it for a bit. Let it sit there for a little bit. It steams it, and then it will flake much easier with a fork, okay? All right, so let's make it pretty. Let's get a measuring cup out. so we can measure our quinoa and put on top. Not necessary. I just enjoy it more when I do this. All right. But see, my quinoa is nice and flaky. It's not all stuck together. A lot of times I won't put anything on it in here because I want to be able to make it different ways. So stir fry some, have some as a sweet breakfast dish, because you can take this in the morning and add some fresh fruit to it, and some nuts and stuff, and drizzle some maple syrup, a little coconut oil, and it's the bomb, okay? So let's get this together. Okay, that didn't go so well. So what happens is, now I'm gonna take and put some vegetables around the back so that you can't see how I messed that up. All right, now I'm gonna take this and put it on top. This is not, look at me, look at what I'm doing. This is not hard. When you serve someone something and it looks attractive, they're far more likely to want to eat it. Okay? Boom. There. So I'm going to add fresh herbs to this after I finish with the taco, because I'm going to chop up the same lettuce and tomato for the taco. And then my daughter, she asked about the acorn squash because she likes it. And she dislikes that she likes it. She really doesn't like that she likes acorn squash, because she'll just eat a whole half of an acorn squash by herself, which is whole nother story. So let's go ahead with our tacos, which I made this and didn't put the lid on top. Let's find one that's nice and round, like this one. So they bend very nicely. Would you try agave nectar? Yes, I don't have any. I definitely would. I use them. I mostly use agave, but I use maple syrup more for baking. I don't like agave for baking. It's like too much of it has an aftertaste. Okay. For baking, I prefer a mixture of coconut palm sugar and maple syrup. Coconut palm sugar is similar to brown sugar, but it's not that sweet either. All right, so I'm just going to put this way. And I will be sharing pictures of both dishes when they're done. Now, this acorn squash I made doesn't go with anything, so it might not be in the picture. All right, okay, so that's good enough for that. Now, we just need a little bit more of our spring mix. Now, the old car, who wasn't budget friendly, would not use this spring mix on top of the taco. I would need some regular lettuce. But I don't live there anymore. I'm going to use what I have. All right, yes, Tanika, for the tahini sauce. But you know what would have been even better is if I put a date in there when I was first blending it down, or if I had some date syrup. That's my favorite. That's my favorite one to use, and it's the purest form of sweetener as far as I'm concerned. It's just my personal opinion, because you're getting the actual fruit itself. It has not been processed in any way, picked off the tree. The date syrup has, but not the regular. All right, so let me cover that up. Now for the rest of our taco, I'm going to chop down this lettuce a little bit. I'm going to chop my herb. I'm going to chop up the rest of the avocado that I saved. Okay? And we'll be done. I just like my lettuce to be smaller, as if it was, regular bite size. Okay? I'm no Chef Ramsay when it comes to chopping. I just want to get it done. And the other thing is, y'all, I've been buying these big containers of spring mix, and then nobody is eating it because they don't want to assemble anything. Like, really? So for that reason, I'm using it in everything now. All right, so I got a little lettuce there. Hopefully you guys can see that. But too much, I don't want to put too much, and then it's covering up the jackfruit. So let me move it back a little bit. Okay, then save that for someone else's tacos. Oh, let me do the tomato next. I gotta switch knives because the serrated knife cuts the tomato better. than my regular knife. That looks beautiful. This tomato looks good. I think I got this from somebody's produce stand. I'm going to put tomatoes on both dishes. Let me see if this knife will serve me well now. Yep. Okay, so I interchange the same ingredients a lot. And you know what? A lot of restaurants do that. They'll have different menu items, but the base ingredients are the same. That's how they keep their food costs down. So why shouldn't we do the same thing? Okay, so let's put a little tomato over here. Now, I do wish I had a sauce for this desperately. And I'm going to try to doctor this tahini sauce again once I'm not on camera. I have made it successfully in the past, but I used dates then to help sweeten it from the beginning. I'm going to taste it again, you guys. But I'm scared because I already don't like tahini. And the last 2 times I tasted it, it was so bitter. This is homemade tahini, though. And I skipped the step where they tell you to roast the sesame seeds, because I did it last time and it seemed like it made the taste super, super strong. So I didn't want that again. All right, so what else do we have here? That's on there. That's just our avocado and our herbs. Let's do our fresh herbs. Bring this back. Okay. This is cilantro and parsley, but you could add dill in here, which I have dill already in the jackfruit. I think I forgot to mention that earlier. But I still add fresh herbs when I can. I don't buy dill as much because it's a very strong herb and you can't use dill interchangeably, but you can put cilantro and parsley on top of everything. So that's it. Bit of that over there. And then I'm going to add the avocado. And this will be done. So I hope that this video was helpful, or this going live was helpful for you guys for Wellness Wednesdays. The biggest takeaway that I want you to have is, I know it's hard sometimes, but you have to do it anyway. Your body deserves it. Your family's body deserves it. They deserve to eat food that has not been processed in a lab by somebody else. Let that motivate you. Don't let what I'm saying feel critical or judgmental or whatever. Think about what can happen to your kids if they get totally addicted to fast food. I know, because when I fell off the wagon, guess who else fell off? My children. And their eating habits were terrible, and it has been a rough 2 years getting them back on track, man. It has not been easy. So I just challenge y'all to get back in that kitchen and just keep it simple, but make it delicious and make it food that's healthy and good for you and 100% real. That's all I'm saying. And most things that are in a box are not real at all, and your body doesn't want it. I don't care if your taste buds want it, your body does not want it. Okay? Thank you, Nora. Yes, this is, my kitchen is a blessing. We went through a house fire and rebuilt from scratch, so I got exactly what I wanted. I don't mind. I share that testimony all the time. It looked very different in here 5 years ago. Let me give you guys an up close. Push this back so you can see that jackfruit right there. Oops, I lost one. That's a jackfruit taco. And this is the quinoa bowl. Okay, so I'm going to keep working on my sauces. When I get a good one, I'll definitely share and let you guys know. So Jelly, come over, Nora. You know what? One of the things is I don't entertain as much as I used to when we first moved back in, but I do. I hope to do it more in the future, because one of the things I always used to feel is I would know somebody that had a nice house, and I just would want to hang out there, you know. And but I couldn't, never felt comfortable enough to do that. So I've never wanted my house to be like that. We are very mi casa, su casa. All my rebirth ladies, well, not all, a lot of my rebirth ladies that are coming to town next weekend, about 10, will be over here Friday night. We're going to do a love feast together, and it's going to be fabulous. And I'm so blessed and thankful that they'll be here and, you know, ready to open my home to them. So if you're interested in the rebirth experience, I got to add this in because the website is now live. You can go to www.therebirthexperience.com, or if it's easier for you to spell, you can go to www.coachkara.com. Both direct the same place, and look to join the community either as in a community member or to work with me one-on-one. If you have more serious issues with discipline and you just need, basically a health bestie, then that would definitely be the best option for you. So reach out to me, okay? Tanika, you live in Atlanta, so you should just come over and we could go live together, okay? I'm in Lithonia. Come on over here. But yes, it is easy. This was just as easy as it looked. But when you're new, it may take you a bit to get oriented to what you're doing. And then after that, you just whip it through and you go in and it's no big deal. But you got to start by starting where you are with what you have. And that's the best way to do it, okay? So thank you guys for watching and tuning in. Inbox me if you have any questions. All right? Bye.